गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Last week we saw the fourth verse of the Atma Shatkam or Nirvana Shatkam. Na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajñah aham bhojanam naiva bhojam na bhokta chidananda rupah शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं. न पुण्यम न पापम, I have neither virtue nor vice, न saukyam न dukkham, nor pleasure or and nor pain, न mantro न tirtham, न mantro न tirtham, nor the sacred chants, nor pilgrimage, na Veda na yajnaha, nor the scriptures, nor the sacrificial rituals. Aham bhojanam na eva bhojam na bhokta. I am neither the act of enjoying, nor the enjoyable, nor the enjoyer. Then who am I? I am Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. When this disposition that is being mentioned here, aham bhojanam na eva bhojam na bhokta, all thoughts appear in our mind because of the triad, the knower known knowing, the seer seen seeing, the experiencer experienced experiencing. So three components are there, for the subject, the object, and the instrument of knowledge. Only then a subject is always the I, object keeps changing, and the instrument of knowledge, depending upon what the object is that faculty is utilized in order to get the knowledge of that object or associate with that object. Where is this happening? Where is this triad happening? This triad is happening in the mind. And when it is said, aham bhojanam na eva, aham bhojanaiva bhojam na bhokta, I am not the triad. You are not the thoughts. You are the witness of the thoughts. That is your natural position all the time. But foolishly, stupidly, we think that we are the mind. See, we have to come out of this, and mind comes about, we have to come out of the body identification. It is because I consider I am only this body, then the mind has come about, and that mind then functions with this triad, and this triad then keeps you in the loop of individuality. See? Ego is nothing. Ego is an something, it's mithya pratyay, which appears but is not. Just like a sparkler, it's one sparkler in your hand and you keep turning around, round and round and round. It's at any given moment only at one time. But you have the vision of a circular light. Exactly the same way. Is there a circle? No. Are there many sparklers? No. Then how come you saw the circle? Because the sparkler was moving at a great speed, and there was a imagination of continuum of light. Exactly the same way. The thoughts are appearing so fast. There is a imagination, there is an appearance, there is a ghost who appears, who feels that he is continuous. Who is that? I. With every object, the I thought appears, the triad, and it dies, goes away. Then next thought appears, again I comes, again it goes away. Where is this happening? In the mind. And what are you experiencing? That I am continuous. You are continuous as the self, not as the mind, not as the thoughts. This has to be experienced. If it is not experienced, then everything that you do in the name of spirituality is all null and void. And therefore, Adi Shankaracharya is telling that aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. Then who is this witness? Who is not the subject? Who is not the object? Because subject is word subject, and the I is only in relation to the object. I know laptop, I know camera, I know the book, I know the cup. I. And how do I know the cup? Through my eyes. I see the cup. I hear the words. I am speaking. See? Yeah, the object is the speech. I remains the same. Yes. So you have two feelings here. One is when it is brought to your notice that you are continuous as I, and the other is the discontinuous I. Now we have to sadhanize this. We have to bring about a disposition wherein we are able to remain as the observer of all the I thoughts that are coming and going. That will be the first stage. For that, either you understand what is being told, or you chant some mantra with great intensity and love and coolness, or you do some pranayam, pranabandhanat leena manasam. So first separate yourself from the body, meaning you are not reacting to anything at the body level. Then next, when body is sitting undisturbed, then the pranas will become slow and shallow. Then the next frontier is the mind. And there the mind functions with these three triad: subject, object, and the instrument of knowledge. This is happening. This is the phenomena. The objects will keep coming. You cannot do anything about it. Instruments are there. If you are disidentified from the body, fantastic. But because you are disidentified, eyes will not stop seeing. Ears will not stop hearing. No, I don't want to hear. But you have no control over the sound. Any sound will come in. So where can you exercise? You can redefine the I and recognize that this feeling of continuity of the I thought, the ego, which is in association with some object all the time, is a phenomenal I. I am the one who is the overlord of all the small I's. which come and go with every object. And is it not true? Again, bringing the same example, which I am repeating many times. Yesterday, you had the experience, or you know that waking dream and deep sleep came and went. Day before yesterday also you know waking dream and deep sleep came and went. So what do you know when you say waking? You know yesterday there was a waker, there was a waking world, and there was a waking experience. You know there was a dreamer, there was a dream experience, and there was a dream world. And you know last night when you were sleeping there was absence of the two. So who is this fellow? He is this Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivo. He is the eternal witness. He is not the one who came and went. He is present right here also, even while listening. And if I ask you after 4-5 hours, hey, did you hear the talk in the meditation class? You will say yes. But the I is changing. It's an event already. So who knows the memory was formed? Who knows the event? That one is separate from this triad: subject, object, and instrument of knowledge. So recognize yourself to be the Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Now today's verse: Na me mrityu shanka, na me jati bhedaha, pita naiva me naiva, mata na janma, na bandhur na mitram, gurur naiva shishyah, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Na me mrityu shanka, I have no fear of death. Na me jati bhedaha, nor have I any distinction of caste. I have no fear of death. Death is only of the ephemeral. Wherever there is a triad, the triad, every thought is dying, and every thought cannot be without I. It is dying. But are you feeling that you are dying with every thought? No. Are you feeling that yesterday came and went? Have you gone away with it? No. Emotions come and go. Have you gone with it? No. Every time you blink, the world goes away. Do you go away? No. Every moment when the out breath is there, do you die? No. It's a thinking in a different way so that we come back to be who we always have been, always are, and always will be. We are the indestructible principle. Fear only comes about. Fear is an expression of ignorance, and ignorance of your real nature. Once you come to know you are Chidananda Rupa, then there is no question of fear. Abhayatvam is one of the qualities that starts expressing a Mahatma is never afraid. A devotee is never afraid of anything or anyone. Why? Because his vision has transformed. He sees everything as the Lord alone. Here, the seeker sees everything as Shivoham Shivoham. So the vision of distinctions, just like You are seeing different parts of your body, but you feel you are one. So, in spite of distinctions, the experience of oneness is there in you right now. You don't say, I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. No, you say, I am the nose, I am the eye, I am the, like a small child. But the experience is, I alone am. Imagine this experience ad infinitum. You are experiencing the entire world of differences and yet not shaken from the unifying principle, not shaken from this abidance that I alone am. And what is the experience here? I am pervading. I am pervading the body. I am the body. Same way, I am pervading the whole universe. I am the universe. This imagination of inside and outside comes only once you identify that I am only this body. What will be the Ishvara thinking? The wave fights with one, is afraid of another wave, is afraid of a tide, if afraid of a tsunami. Oh, my existence is going to go away. But once the wave, being the wave, realizes that it's the infinite ocean, what is the disposition of ocean? So many waves are dying, so many waves are born, no excitement, no sadness, because everything I am alone. This expansion of our being has to come about. That expansion of the being, and not expansion bhurbhuva swa tapa janava, not up till the seven lokas. No, infinite expansion. Because we are Chidananda Rupaha. We are infinite in nature. So to tell someone, I have no fear of death, nor have I any distinctions, I have no father, nor mother, nor even birth, nor a relation, nor a friend, I have no teacher, no disciple. This sounds very, very out of our understanding. Our mind finds it difficult to comprehend because we have considered we are, I am a seeker, I am studying Sanskrit, I am learning chanting, I am giving lectures, I am a sannyasi, I should do, I take satsangs or attend satsangs every day. We are concretizing our personality. That's all. We have to get out of this. Satsang is required. But what is the purpose of satsang? Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. So purpose of satsang is to come about with a crystal clear mind, nischalatatvam, where you are able to discern the self and not get confused with with that which is coming and going. Nischala tattvam. Another meaning of Nischala tattvam is there is no shaking in the mind. It is absolutely calm, so that the reflection of the pure consciousness in the mind is crystal clear. The reflection of the moon in the waters which are calm is crystal clear. But the moment waves come, you are unable to see the moon. Same thing here also. What are the waves in our mind? Thoughts. What are the thoughts? The triad. More the thoughts, eventually it leads to depression. So our satsang, our interaction, our disposition in whatever life is presenting us from 24 hours should be such that our mind remains calm. Our mind remains calm. And mind will remain calm only when we have less desires. We will have less desires only when you have discovered that the world is nothing but the self alone, is nothing but, is not other than the self alone. Or if that is difficult, it's an expression of Lord Shiva alone is appearing as the whole world. Then also no desire for the world. Then everything is fine because he is. But here we are not for determining God. Here we are coming. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. So that will be penultimate step in devotion. That Shiva is the world. Then who is Shiva? Now the next stage begins. And once you come to recognize and abide in the Shiva Tattva, the auspicious principle, the Atmic principle, the Chidananda principle, which is the self, looking back from there, having come to recognize that you are the one with no other to associate with, then when there is no other, for a ocean there is no other wave. Every wave is a part of it only. So who will ocean be afraid of? No one. So when we come to the Chidananda principle and there is no otherness left, mind is absorbed in the oneness, then will you be a student? Will there be a guru? Will there be father, mother? Will there be a friend and enemy? Will there be birth and death? Will there be Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? With great pride people say, I am Brahmin, I am this and I am that. Who cares? From the Atmic principle point of view, there are no differences. When you are on the ground, all the differences are there. The higher you go, all the differences on the earth start melting into one. You go out into the space, you only see one earth. You can't see the people, you can't see the animals, you can't see the houses, you can't see. Distinctions vanish. So raise yourself high. Where? In yourself. Recognize you are the infinite one. The entire universe, the waking universe, is only a figment of imagination of your mind. And the universe can be divinized and become and made impotent in a way to not affect you is only when mind recognizes that in essence it is nothing but the Chidananda Rupa. It is nothing but the self. So all the fear of the wave will go away when the wave recognizes it is the ocean only. It has got no existence apart from ocean. Before birth it was ocean, during its life it is ocean, after death also it will be ocean. Is this our conviction while living? That before birth we were one with Shiva, now also we are one with Shiva, after the death of this body also will be one with Shiva. But you just said there is no birth and death. Until unless you don't sort this out, then for whom is the birth and death? Birth and death is for the equipment. Are you the equipment? If one hand is cut, are you cut? No, body is cut. You continue to be the same. The I continues to be. Recognize the correct definition of I. Are you the miserable one or are you the ever blissful one? चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. Dive into yourself, taking cue from these potent words, and just be. Nothing to achieve, nothing to lose. All that is required, 100% acceptance that I am of the nature of Chidananda. I am of the nature of conscious bliss, without any doubt, without any error.